It's fine, sweetie.
I don't know if this is a common experience, but one time I got my hair braided at this lady's house
Mhm.
and she had kids and she was like eating canned peaches
Mm-mm. No, thank you. Immediately,
and
just
her
straight to
kids were
hell.
like running around. And I was like, I don't know. I
First of
think,
all, eating out of a can is like derelict behavior, which is why you only do it in private. Like when
but
they
it's like, I
try to
guess
showcase,
technically you're at home, but also like, ma'am, you're not just like
like
at
when movies
home.
are like, this guy is living on the edge and he's a low character, they always show you eating out of a can, like you couldn't even get a bowl.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah.
why I would never let anybody else know that I eat straight out of the can sometimes. I would never do that.
Yeah. I was just like, I don't know. Something about it just didn't feel like clean, you know? It
Yeah.
felt like,
And also,
yeah.
you eating fucking juicy ass peaches and
Yeah,
the water's still in there and standing over
like,
my head. Absolutely not, ma'am. Get
and then your
I
kids are
know
running around too. I was like, I don't know. I feel like there should be a discount.
I know some peach juice got in my hair. I just know it. You don't have to tell me.
That's the thing too, is like people will be at their house and charge like full price. Like,
Mhm.
bitch, what's the overhead?
Right.
Like, if I go to a shop, I kind of get it. They have to pay like booth rent or whatever. But like, we're just at your house
Yeah,
and
you don't know
you
which
get
door to
to,
go in, if you can use the bathroom, if they cleaned up. It's like, I
or
don't.
if their boyfriend. I was just thinking too, like the other thing about like being in those spaces is, it's like an introduction to folks' personal life and people's boyfriends. I don't know. I also have my own personal trauma with people's boyfriends. So I'm like, I just don't want to be around your man. I don't know
100%.
what's going on. It's kind
I
of,
think everybody, some more than others, but everybody's been in a situation where they're like, I never
yeah.
want to be in a place with somebody else's boyfriend ever again.
Yeah. Like one time when we were looking for home daycares for my oldest daughter, we went to a house and there was this woman and she was like, yeah, my husband and my son. And then we were like looking at them and me and mom were like, nah, no thanks. Nah. And like, not to say that there can't be, good male teachers, but
Right.
there's something about, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, you got to present differently. You can't just be in here like not speaking or whatever. I'm like, this is my kid. I don't think so. You got to be super friendly. But anyway, yeah. So going
I'm
to,
trying to find somebody live streaming the game so I can see if the halftime show's on.
oh, it's on, but the TV show is on behind me. It's 4 minutes and 36 seconds
You know what?
until.
I am just seeing Travis Kelsey's walk-in outfit, and he looks like a '70s pimp.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, I was like, "Oh, he's giving, like, 1970s, like, pimp
like
or
shiny
whatever."
shirt, the whole
Yeah, he had
nine.
on, like, the little, like even the colors, like, definitely colors that were popular there. It was like, he's in character.
It
Like,
seems like it.
yeah, that's not I don't feel like anybody out there is his stylist didn't pick that out. Whatever fucking indie film he's gonna be in next is asked him to wear that. But
He should get a stylist.
I feel like a lot of more people should get stylists than they like realize. I was even like, I love Billy, down, but I don't think she has a stylist. I think she's like probably hired a stylist like every once in a while, but I think she should consider it. She
I
looked
think
really,
that she can still do like what she's doing, but with a stylist, and it would be
yeah, and I
amazing.
think like the allure for, I feel like for most people there's like a story behind their stuff, right? So when you think about her, she's homeschool, crunchy vanilla vegan, you know, thrift store, that kind of thing, like sustainable. Like, so she's never going to be like one of those people that wants to do like fast fashion, but I think that like she wants to have this kind of look of like, thrift store, trendy, whatever. And I
And
think
she
at some
also
point,
doesn't want to be sexualized.
yeah, there's that. And at some point, I think she was working with this Japanese stylist who does a lot more of like the hip hop influence style. And I think that you see that on, I think, Complex magazine or something else that she was doing. But I was like, I don't know. I'm pretty sure when she showed up to the Grammys this year, it didn't seem like she was working with anybody.
Yeah,
But maybe she was, and that's just me not knowing what the fuck. But I was like, yeah, that anyway, not that it matters, but you know, there's my personal opinion thrown into the ether.
it's fine, sweetie. Speaking of, this is a podcast starring me and you,
And you,
and
and you,
sometimes our brother Clarence. He's not here
yeah,
today. So,
yeah.
what you been up to this week?
I spent a lot of time taking clothes out of my closet that like I realized that I'm never going to fit again more than likely. And I think I've been working out probably pretty consistently, going to the gym like 3 times a week and going to yoga. And I haven't lost that much weight, which is fine. I don't care. But I also kind of just realized like I'm not going to fight enough to get back into a size 10 or maybe even a 12 at this point. So I put together a big garbage bag of clothes and moved some stuff around. But I guess I've been also having an internal struggle with like what to do. What's the next step after that?
Like, what do
Because
you mean?
there's a lot of people that say, I mean, so I'm in, groups and, all these different things. And so you hear like people say, don't take your clothes to Goodwill or Salvation Army
Yeah,
because they just,
are kind of evil.
yeah. But then if you try to give your clothes to like people, they want to know like what's in there, whatever. And so then if you spend a bunch of time like going through your closet and just throwing shit in a bag, like I don't want to open back up that Pandora box to like take pictures and send it to people because then one, I might keep it. And then two, like, it just prolongs the process.
I think that while, in this current climate, I'm team don't let perfect be the enemy of good. And
Yeah.
like, Goodwill is evil, but they're not the most evil thing. So just take it to Goodwill.
Okay. I mean, I'm going to take it to Salvation Army because the other thing about Salvation Army around here is like they literally take everything. Like my stepson's computer, I mean, not computer, keyboard,
Hmm.
like piano keyboard thing, his stopped working. And for the longest time, we just had it in the house, just like forever. And then I finally just took it to Salvation Army and they took it. And I was like, thank God. Because,
Yeah. Because even if they aren't evil, you have to still consider, like, when people are like, oh, I don't have any money, I need clothes. Like, that's the first thing that's going to pop in their mind. Like,
yeah,
they don't
hopefully.
know where else to go anyway. So,
Okay. Yeah. And I was
but
like,
I don't give them money when they ring the bell anymore.
what do you mean? What's
You
the
know, when they
ring the
stand
bell?
outside and they ring the bell at
Oh,
Christmas?
oh, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Because you're like, bitch, you make enough money on the clothes I donate to you.
Right.
Like, I know
Hmm.
you do. That's why it's like someone at my job was like, "Oh, we should open a thrift store." I was like, "Is there some like model out there that says thrift stores are like big fucking money? Like, why did everybody want to open a thrift store?"
I think that once, well, I have a friend who owns a thrift store
Hmm.
in Texas, and
Hmm.
like, I mean, her taste is immaculate, and I've watched her like go and pick. But then she was talking about her dad, and he used to do it. So like that's just like the family life, like
Yeah,
that's the family's line of work. So
yeah,
like there are people like that that have always done it, and like to watch her the way she works, she's like, I'll just go get a bag of clothes for $20, and then like if this doesn't work or that doesn't work, then she has friends who can take it and it works for their brand. But then I think once that, what was that girl's name who did like there's that show with the girl from Transformers, Bumblebee? She's the one that started the girl boss bullshit. uh,
oh, well, this person, I don't know. The who's coming to mind, I didn't know if that girl was an actress. Her name was like something Hollis or something.
but
But
the when that happened and she started like finding shit and then charging people like $200 for it, then everybody wanted to do the.
yeah. I mean, I think like I've seen people be like, "Oh, they find like vintage, like even vintage like what are those band t-shirts and selling those for lots of money."
Yeah.
And then people will be like, "I can fucking make a Nirvana shirt." And she's like, "Yeah, but it's not vintage." they're like,
Yeah, that's when thrift became vintage, and then everybody thought it was big money, and it was for a while, and now it's not really.
yeah, but it's like I go to a thrift store, I want to like pay like, thrift store prices. Like I bought some docks at a thrift store and this lady was like, "Oh, da 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 da." I was like, "Ma'am,
I don't want to pay $60 for somebody's old dogs.
yeah, just give me my money." Yeah. Like I don't know. But like I don't care what you're saying. Just let me buy these for cheap. Or even when I go to the thrift store and I want to buy like a button-up shirt and it's like $20, I'm like, "No."
Yeah, no, thank you.
I'm not paying $20. They're like,
Um,
"Oh, okay, well, like how much did you want to pay?" Like there was a guy like at the thrift store down the street. It was on the mannequin, and I was like, "Oh, that's a nice shirt. How much is it?" He was like $36. I was like, "Nah, hell no."
it's not that nice,
He
sir.
was like, "Well, how much are you willing to pay?" I was like 12 or $15. He was like, "Okay." So I was like,
See, you just had to try it, you
"Yeah,"
know.
but I wasn't meaning to try it. I just was like, "Fuck you." And then
I
like, but I think that that's probably like when it really is legit, like negotiation because I'm like, I legit don't need that shirt. I
right.
have 15 blue button up shirts.
And as you
So,
were walking
like,
away, he was like, "I also don't need this shirt. Please take it."
he's like, okay, fine. He's like, it's Ralph Lauren or something. I was like, yeah, but if I can go to fucking Macy's and they have a sale for, you know, Ralph Lauren and $30 brand new, then why
And
should I
now I
buy it
have a
from
Ralph.
you?
Yeah, I have a Ralph Lauren shirt that's in season.
Yeah, that's true too. Like with the different polo thing or the little guy on the horse or whatever.
I
Like,
also had this friend that used to. I mean, this is like way back, like my first corporate job, and she would go like where we worked, where the office was like in the bougie part of town, like the rich
mhm.
people. It was in Nichols Hills, and
Oh, yeah.
which is like where all the rich people live. And so she
Yes.
would go there, and they would take their clothes, but it would be like brand name, and then she would sell them on eBay.
Mm, yeah.
So she'd
I
buy them for
mean,
like
and I was like,
$15 and sell them
again,
for
that was the
60.
my argument with the whole like people being like, people are taking advantage of the kindness of other people during the fires. And I was like, it takes a lot of time to like sell shit on eBay or like, to make money off of clothes. So like I'm gonna assume if they are taking advantage of it, they needed that money.
Right.
But even like with I feel like there's a whole lot to answer or figure out when you think about the way that things burn, like the whole burning thing. So like you're paying a mortgage, your house burns down. The insurance company gives you money. Do you still pay mortgage?
Yes.
Yeah. So the money is to rebuild.
Right.
Yeah. So you're
And then
paying
the
a
bank is going to
mortgage.
get involved in that, and they're going to probably want you to rebuild to a certain standard so
Mhm.
that it covers their whatever, whatever. They might just make you pay off the whole fucking thing, and then you have to figure out how to rebuild. Because I remember one of the friends that you had when in high school, her parents' house burned down, and I remember her getting it didn't like burn to the ground,
Mhm.
but it burnt up. And so they had to go buy another house. But then they had to pay to tear that one down and they couldn't afford to do that. And so like the city was in their shit about it. So it's like a
We'll
whole
have to talk
thing.
about which friend that was. I don't remember. But yeah, I remember somebody's mom's house burning down, but I didn't remember that second part of the story. But yeah, I think that's the thing is like so people are like Altadena is not for sale, but at the same time, again, like a lot of these people that were living in houses is like what it does is it's kind of like I know this isn't going to seem like they're connected, but when I was teaching 8th grade, one of the principals was like when CPS gets involved and it's like some of the stuff that we've considered acceptable, like isn't acceptable because like once you start standardizing it and putting policies to it, then like like if you are a person whose grandmother is raising 6 kids or whatever and they all sleep on a pallet on the floor, like that might be the way people were raised and Glorilla said she was raised that way, but if CPS had been involved that would not have been acceptable
Right.
and like being able to afford to meet the standards for CPS is like its own thing. Like
Yeah,
having
like you
people.
fostered a child before and like
Mhm.
you know that all too well.
Yeah, because like I had to spend money to redo my house to like accept him into my house. So there's that. But like when you are talking about an area that was mostly generational, multi
Yeah,
generational wealth of African American families, there were some people who were living in ways that like may not have been like socially acceptable. So when we're talking about now, like even if the house was paid off and they had like the ones who have insurance are getting the insurance money, they can't necessarily turn around because they're having to pay somewhere to live, turn around, take that money and then rebuild.
build something modern.
Yeah. What they're probably going to have to do is take the money, maybe pay off a mortgage, whatever, use that money to live in their new space and then sell it. So while everyone's like upset about the developers that are moving in because it's going to reshape Altadena, which, all of us are mourning what Altadena was because there's a reason you move here, right? Like none of us want to live in Santa Monica.
Right.
Like we don't want to live in Culver City, like where it's really trendy and really hot, whatever. Like we want to live in Altadena where it's easy to drive and it's, there's some places that have parking and like it just feels a little bit more familiar, like familial, like where people know each other or whatever, and you're in your own little bubble. So what happens with developers is like they come in, they make it fucking Venice, like the houses probably start looking like what you consider to be LA. And so I get that people are scared, but the sad reality is like people can't afford to stay.
Right. We were talking to, like, we don't have wildfires here, but we have tornadoes. And we were
Hmm.
talking to someone that my husband knows at breakfast, and his house got hit by the tornado. He's like, "Yeah, I lived in a hotel for 90 days." And he was like, and they have a mutual friend. He's like, he came out and power washed everything. And like one of the things that we learned, not from this conversation, but from somebody who does the cleanup, is
Hmm.
like they just hire like day workers, like people
Mm,
to individually come out and clean. Like there's no state agency that like sends people out to clean up. You have to
yeah.
find someone who'll come and take a rate and clean it up, and then you
Hmm.
have to figure all that out yourself. So he's like, "Yeah, I lived in a hotel for 90 days and he had to find an RV, and then he pulled it next to his house, and he has to work to clean it up so that he can have somebody come in and rebuild it."
Yeah, I mean, I think that that's the. And then with fires, like they're like, okay, well, like the houses burned and all of these houses were built before, we said no to asbestos and no to lead. So there's like lead, it's like dangerous. So there's all these people charging like thousands of dollars. Even if your house didn't get burned down, like you're having to get your house clean and it's like $6,000, $7,000. So
Right.
it's like this real big money, thing maker for the folks who do that kind of job. But yeah, it's a lot. I mean, because I'm thinking that yeah, most of them probably would go get an RV, but I don't. They're saying it's not safe to be that close
Air
to the.
quality. Hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, anyway, it was in the news today that someone sold their lot for $550,000. And that's the first sale that they can track, the first public sale of someone's burnt down property.
Yeah, unfortunately, everybody's gonna have to make that calculation for themselves.
Yeah, it is. It's really unfortunate, but it is what it is, I guess. But I was like, I think that once we get past of like Altadena is not for sale, then I was like, maybe we just have to go through the process of mourning. Hi, baby cakes.
Everything changes, and
Everything
sometimes in
changes.
terrible ways.
Yeah, but so thank God Beyonce won the album of the year,
Hmm.
and it didn't have to go on like a crusade to burn everything down. Okay, I can't tell if this is the halftime show because Wanda Sykes is here. Hold on a second.
No, I'm watching it on TV. There's 135 left
Oh,
in the second.
okay. Thank you. I don't know what Wanda Sykes was doing, confusing me. That was probably the point, though. But
People
yeah,
have
so
things for
I
to
was
do
really
though.
excited that Beyonce won for Cowboy Carter, and then I think the subsequent like having to defend Cowboy Carter was like the hard part. It's like I think a lot of people were like, "Well, she shouldn't have won country album of the year." And I was like, fine if you want to be like, spaghetti, and there's a couple other songs on there that are probably not necessarily country if you could figure out how to define country. But I was like, but probably the people who vote on the Grammys like really enjoyed listening to it. And so there's that.
Yeah, that was one of the things that they were saying is like they opened up the pool of people who could vote. And that's
Mhm.
why, like, if you watch the show, they kept saying 13,000 voting members or whatever.
Mhm.
So there were the pool of people who could vote was more diverse this year. And then what other people were saying, and this kind of makes sense, is like the other times, like like when Beck won, Beyonce probably split the vote.
Mhm.
So it was like people were voting for Beyonce or they were voting for Adele, but it was a much smaller pool. And then so the people that voted for Beck were all in for Beck, and that's how
Mhm.
he won.
Mhm.
And they said that that's probably where like it kicked off because she was making like very pop albums, and then Beck won, and Beck's whole thing, and people are like, who the fuck even listened to that? But Beck's whole thing is very experimental, and he doesn't just stay in one genre, and so
Mhm.
that's when you start seeing her put a lot more genres on albums, and then doing the whole visual thing and making it more of an experience and tapping into her artistry. And then they were saying, yeah, like they played this clip of Beyonce saying this, and it was like when Blue was a baby, like
Mhm.
very little. And she's like, people don't make albums, they make songs, and then they put them all together and they call that an album, but it's not from start to finish. It's just
Oh
like, what
yeah,
can we do
I do remember
quickly?
seeing that.
And I agree with that. And while like I don't think that there's a cohesive message from start to end on Hit Me Fast and Slow, which is Billie Eilish.
Yeah, I mean, I think that for her there is, because she's explained it and I get it, like for her, like skinny is like this whole introduction of like I'm an adult, like you guys picked apart my childhood, whatever. Like, am I acting my age now? Like it's like really boom.
Yeah.
And then lunch, is about her having desire for someone else. But anyway, whatever. But like for her, right, and her fans, like there's this
Yeah.
whole, it is like it does tell a story. I do think, I mean, I don't know anything about Sabrina Carpenter's album. Obviously, I only listened to Billy and to Cowboy Carter of all the albums that were nominated for album of the year. But so I do think that they both do have this like artistry that like goes all the way through. And the same thing is true for Kendrick. That's what he said on that 30-minute interview that he did with Apple was like,
Mhm.
my album should have a a beginning, middle, and end. Like it should come together like a book.
Yeah, like
And
his was one of like the first one, like Good Kid, Mad City. You can tell that it's an evolution, and he even like you go from like Kendrick to Kung Fu Kenny to K Dot, and it's like a
mhm,
different person by the time you get to the end of it. You know what I
mhm.
mean? And even like the name, it's like I'm trying to be a good kid, but the city is mad. You know, like
Yeah.
there's a lot of shit happening here, and you get all of that in the album. So he does do concepts, and I did listen to Sabrina Carpenter like heavy. Like
Mhm.
I think she was in my Spotify wrap up. Like I was top
Yeah.
10
Mine was
fans or whatever
Billy
that
and
listened to her.
and Beyonce.
And there is a message, but it's not like the message is like I want to be in a relationship. And so like every song is about that, but it
Yeah.
doesn't tell a story.
Right. I think that like Billy's tells a story in a way that like a 21-year-old person who, or 22, however old she is, who grew up in the industry could. And obviously like she's a young person and I think that there's a lot that like means a lot to her that she's like learning and discovering. And but I think that the difference between the storytelling she's doing and what Beyonce was doing is just the range of life of like being alive
Yeah.
for as long as Beyonce's been at it, because there's like this history lesson, there's like the Protector song which I absolutely love.
Oh,
um
tears every time.
oh my god, I love that song so bad. And there's just so much like deep hurtful emotion there that it's just hard to compete. I mean, if it hadn't won, if Hit Me Hard and Soft had won, I would be like, they absolutely just love Billy. But yeah, I feel like Cowboy Carter deserved the recognition for the piece of art that it is. And I'm glad it
I
got
mean, I
that.
mean, and I just wonder, like, what happened to it is an honor to be nominated because, like, they're recognizing that you are the best of the best. Like anybody
Yeah.
else, you know what
I
I mean?
think Billy and Phineas are there. I think her fans are the ones that are just like, she was robbed. And I was like, yeah, I mean, there was lots of good albums this year.
But somebody's got to win,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. But like, I think that
I
there's
think the
just
people that were going to, I mean, speaking of splitting the vote, I think that's what happened to Billy and Sabrina
mhm.
is they split the same voters.
Yeah.
Like people
Well, I
that
mean,
like,
even Charlie XCX was nominated, so it's
yeah,
probably even
those three, like they split the votes,
yeah.
you know?
Like those are their people. I mean, that's probably what happened with Not Like Us, like winning all those albums. Like, like I'm sure if you're like, I'm a Charlie XCX fan, I'm gonna vote for Brat. I'm gonna vote for what's the one she did with Billy? It was nominated for a duo, right?
Oh, I don't remember. I just
Guess,
remember
yeah,
I think the apples riding
yeah.
right from the floor.
Which
And then
I
I'm
was
just
like
like,
really
listen,
surprised she didn't even do that one in her performance
when you listen to the lyrics, it's like, holy fuck. I mean, like
because that
obviously
one's
it has something
about
to
like
say.
family drama and
Hmm.
trauma, right? Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I think she had some like hard cutters too, like that one and then what's the one where she was with Lord?
Yeah. Which, by the way, like I love Lord Down. It's so, oh God, I love Lord.
That's fine, baby. I don't care. I think that like even Guess probably has like a bigger, message to it because it's like you want to know the password to my Google Drive. You want to guess if we're serious about this song. Like all those things that are just like true about celebrity and voyeurism and all that stuff.
We're
Or
waiting for
at
the halftime show.
commercials.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're at halftime waiting for the show to start.
Yeah, once we get past.
Yeah, but just, but then also like I have like what always since third grade like listened to country pretty heavy,
Mhm.
but I started the way I was listening to country is I had this friend and her name was Jolene because her mom named her after the song.
Yeah.
And so I would go spend the night at Jolene's house or I would go hang out at Jolene's house after school and her mom would be playing Dolly Parton and,
Mhm.
Willie Whalen and the boys and Garth Brooks. Like Garth Brooks was like my
I
fucking
feel
jam
like
for a
Garth
long
Brooks was
time.
like pretty much universal. But then,
Yeah.
the thing about like people growing up listening and loving Billy Ray Cyrus and then for him to grow up and be the fuckboy he is,
Yeah.
it's
That's
really
sad. But what I was
sad.
gonna say is like I grew up listening to like Loretta Lynn and like old and Charlie Pride and
Yeah.
like the shit that they're calling country music, they ought to be fucking ashamed of themselves.
Well, just like Shania Twain was barely country.
Fucking Keith Urban is country, and I don't give
Yeah,
a fuck
like,
what you say.
I
Like
feel like a woman.
Chris Stapleton, like my husband even said it today. He was like Chris Stapleton, and he's been to a Chris Stapleton concert. Like he likes Chris Stapleton. He's like
Yeah.
I would consider him in the same vein as Stevie Ray Vaughan, but that's
Mhm.
not country music. That's the blues and funk.
Yeah,
Like
and
he's
I think
not
that
like,
that's, like, the distinction they wanted to try to make about Beyoncé is, like, some of these are not necessarily country, but,
but that
like,
you're
you
willing to call
you're
something that else that's not country.
just
So like
because
obviously what you
yeah,
mean is like white people listen to this heavy.
right. They're like, "Well, white people feel uncomfortable listening to spaghetti and Sweet Honey Buck and whatever."
I love
Yeah,
that song.
me too. Did I tell
Don't
you
you understand?
I was like, "Oh, I really like the beginning of that song," so I was talking to my singing coach about, like, maybe doing the I Fall to Pieces. Oh, yeah, we did talk about that, and I was like, "It's not as empowering."
Yeah.
It's like she's like, "You walk by and I fall to pieces." I was like, "Ew.
Hmm. But
Come
that's
on,
the other
girl,
thing.
grow a
Like
backbone."
old school country music used to be like about something, and it wasn't just about like drinking in the back of a pickup. Like Toby Keith came along and fucked up country music, as far as I'm concerned. I'll never forgive him for it.
I mean, he's fucked up lots of things, I'm sure. But, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think they do still probably feel like it is about something, but it just depends. But like been doing this country line or queer line dancing. And I was like, oh, dancing. There was a bunch of songs that I didn't recognize. And then they just straight up were like, they played Strawberry Wine. And I was like, oh my God, I'm back. But I feel like that's the thing. Like they have to, there's like those older country songs are probably never going to stop,
Go away.
yeah, being played because like they're probably not making it the same way anymore.
I think William said that that was like their senior song, and I was like, "What? Excuse the fuck out of me! Like the whole senior
Thirsting
class?"
for knowledge. Yeah. No, I don't know. That's kind of weird. My grandpa's farm. Was it
About
grandpa?
yeah, it was like about a woman losing her virginity to a
Yeah, at
way
her
older
at
farmhand on her grandpa's farm, and drinking because
yeah.
she got really drunk on
Strawberry
strawberry wine. Like
wine.
that's
Yeah.
not okay.
17. Yeah,
At
I'm like, I don't know. I don't
21.
think they really listen to the words. Okay, are we here? No.
We're still talking. This guy's eyebrows are insane. And the eyebrow, the hair, and the shirt combination is really giving me like Eddie Munster, and I don't like it.
Who is he?
I have no fucking idea, but he needs to not. He needs a stylist.
I mean, obviously these people like mean something to the football world.
I wonder how much the cheerleaders get paid. Do you think they only get
Fucking
paid
nothing.
$25 a day?
Oh, look at you talking to himself. Zero receptions in post season half post or first half of first game. Whatever.
Wait, are they actually
Travis
going to
Kelsey.
show the halftime show on Tubi, or are they, or
I
like,
don't know.
what
I
is
feel
the
like I
post for
remember this
Apple
like last time being really like paranoid that I was going to miss the halftime show because it takes so long for them to like do this.
setup?
Yeah. So as you can see, they're putting the GNX out behind them. Can you see that behind the people?
Are we watching the same thing? Let me see your TV. Wait, is it showing the outside right now with the blue and the purple?
No, I'm watching
I guess I
Jeep
can show you mine.
halftime show.
Like this is what mine looks like.
No, that's not what mine looks like.
Oh, we're watching two things, different things.
Yeah, I think that like I'm watching Fox Sports.
Oh, I'm watching Tubi.
Okay. So, but hopefully they both just end up showing the.
Yeah.
But yeah, so from their angle, you can see them setting up the GNX behind them and
Oh,
like
I
getting
can't.
the lights ready and stuff.
I see a stage, but I don't see. They keep flashing a green X. Do you see that?
No, all I
Yeah.
can see is I don't know, this like panel of people talking.
What do you think the surprise is going to be?
I don't know. Someone was like, he better bring out Big Frida. And I was like, how in the world would he bring out Big Frida? He has
Oh, that would be
song.
cool though, because she's from New Orleans.
I know, I get that, but like, what song? That's like when people have like artists flying through the air and then they're like, "What song do you have that okay, they say up next, okay." They said, "What song do you have to warrant this?" Like, why are you in the air? When that's kind of like what's his name? Remember last time when 50 Cents came out and he was still upside down? I'm like, "Sir, you are too old
I know all
to
the
be
blood pressure
upside
you're
down."
in.
Right,
You're
I don't
gonna have
care how fit you
coronary.
are. When you're over 50, you do not need to be upside down.
Mm-mm. They say when you're over 45, you're not supposed to shovel snow anymore.
Yeah, I saw that, and that's what like someone oh, my coach at the gym was telling me that his stepdad was like shoveling snow and doing all this stuff and his mom was like, "Yeah, I'm not staying here. I'm back in LA, baby." Yeah, so she came to visit him cuz she was like, "Nah, fuck that. I'm not going to stay here where there's snow." And he was like trying to shovel it and stuff. I was like, I heard he can't do that. And he's too old. And he was like, well, that's what he was doing. So I guess everybody's got to take a risk.
Oh, I think here we go. I'm so nervous, like I'm performing.
I know, but that's how I felt with Rihanna last time. But then it didn't really matter.
Samuel L.
Okay, yours is coming in faster than mine.
I like that little dance he always does.
You ready for the Eagles? The Eagles have been playing, baby. You missed it. This is the halftime show.
Wobble up.
Oh Lord, the wrong guy.
Oh, I like this visual.
Yours seems to be faster than mine.
I think it is.
Oh, the flag. Look at you.
Oh, I didn't even catch that. You're right.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I love this.
I like that guy next to him. I love his little face. The one that, yeah, he had on red, but he not a redhead. No, baby, not him.
This is so cinematic.
Yes, of course. That's what you expect, right?
I mean, I expect a show, but like this feels like a movie.
Well, look at the street lights.
It's a basketball court. Like,
Oh, it is?
doesn't it look like it?
I can see that. How'd they put the car? Oh, yeah, money girl.
I like I like her little insights. She's so funny.
Yeah. Well, no, not what they're playing. Oh, Euphoria. Is this Euphoria? It is, isn't it?
I can't really hear because I have it down and my ears are clogged.
Oh, yeah. This is Euphoria. Oh, my God. No, it's Euphoria, the song. Oh, look, somebody's on the street lamp.
Listen, white people are freaking out right now.
I don't know this song. Who's Amy? Hey. Uh, what they talking about? Talking about money. Ooh. Oh, he's doing the other guy's part. Oh Lord. No, he didn't.
Oh, right. We still haven't seen SZA.
Sundays popping like it's hot. I don't know. Yeah, you love that? Even Mikey can see they're doing the flag.
Mikey's so smart.
Mikey's so smart. The white stars. He did. I understand what you mean. I think it's okay because you get the symbolism.
I mean, like, this is two big halftime shows that we've gotten where black people are like reclaiming their part
It's
in American history.
one more time.
I said this is like two big halftime shows where black people are
Oh
claiming their
yeah.
part of American history.
Yep, that's true. It's like so somebody's telling a story. Oh, go SZA. He is, huh? He ain't gonna do TV off.
he didn't.
Oh shit. He said Drake's name? He didn't even
Yeah.
change it?
Nope.
Oh my god.
He didn't say pedophile.
Certified.
Venus Williams, sea walking. You know, Drake used to date. Oh my God.
Oh my god. Oh shit. Cause that's Venus Williams. She used to date Drake. And I guess he has talked shit about Venus at some point at some
Yep.
time.
There's mustard.
Okay, we are getting TV off. Yeah, this is halftime. Niggas acting bad, but somebody gotta do it. This is just the halftime, baby. Turn the TV off. It just means half of the game is over. And they do a show to entertain people. I can't believe he did Euphoria. The Eagles are winning. Good.
I love her commentary. It's giving me so much life.
Mustard. It's acting bad, but somebody gotta do it. Got my foot up on the gas, but somebody gotta do it.
Oh my God. He had Venus Williams out there.
Game over.
That was my heart's beating so fast.
No, baby, that he just said game over because like that's Kendrick Lamar. He's like game over. I win.
Did you see when he said what she say?
The Eagles are in the lead, baby.
Oh,
Okay.
did you see when he said Drake's name that he looked right in the camera and smiled?
Yes, and he smiled. He said, "Say Drake." Oh my god.
I have this pet.
Okay, Mikey, that's enough. We got it. You're excited.
I have this pet theory that Drake did something that pissed everybody off.
Yeah.
Like, you know, there was that deal that when Kendrick started winning this rap battle that got walked back from Drake.
Hmm.
He did something to get that deal that pissed everybody off. Like, I don't know. I just want to know what it is.
I don't know.
Because
I mean, I think
nobody's
that
on his
there's
side.
so much stuff in the background. Like, you know, like people are saying, like, oh, he's suing for the payola thing because that's what he does.
Uh,
There's this whole other thing where they were like, he signs people and then like steals their songs and then
ugh.
never puts them out. So
Um,
there's like all this stuff that he had been doing. I guess he like tried to do that to The Weeknd and tried to do that to like some other people. So there's like
mm,
I think he's just been like riding dirty. It's kind of like with Puff Daddy, right? Like P Diddy. It's like P Diddy is a big name, so you're not gonna like in the midst of it, right? You're trying to like make it. You're doing all this, and then there's like the sunk cost because it's like, okay, I've gotten this far, and now he's trying to hold me back, and like I don't know
right,
what to
which
do
is
because I don't
exactly
want
what
to
P
get
Diddy did to
yeah.
the girls, Danny DeCane, right?
Yeah, but they say like a lot of people like Mace and like all of them that are like have been saying that for years, but it's the same thing. It's just such an industry thing. Like so many people do that where they're just like they develop you, they spend money, then you're like indebted. It's just like with R. Kelly. Like I know on Star I was just talking to one on Starla about R. Kelly and she's like, he shouldn't be in jail because, those parents knew what the fuck was up. And I was like, okay, he should be in the jail.
Yeah, let's start there.
Like, full stop. She's like, all right, you're right. He should be in jail. But,
But then so too should the parents.
yeah, I mean, there should be some kind of
Mhm.
consequences or whatever. But the thing is that people are trying to make money.
Right. And not a little bit. Oh, did you just get a text?
Yeah,
What's so
Tierra
funny?
said,
Oh.
nigga, with, with her brain, with a head thing. Like, I was like, the thing is that I remember when Not Like Us dropped and I said, Kendrick just dropped. I was like, it's going to be a game changer. And she was like, what is it? I said, it's very West Coast. And then like it's on and she's like, "Oh, I get what you mean." And I was thinking about that whenever I listened to GNX's like, recently because I was like, "Oh, like this is what I meant. Like it's very West Coast. It's just like it just has a feel to it. Like it's
Mhm.
West Coast."
Mhm.
And then Mustard was saying that he originally did the Hey Now beat for YG. And I was like,
Mhm.
"Oh, okay, I can see that cuz again, like it's got a West Coast vibe."
I just love, love, love like when Mustard tells a story. He's like, "Look, I was trying to get hi baby.
Okay,
Hi
Mikey.
sweetheart."
Just
America.
what about
I, li-
America?
Born America.
Oh, okay. I thought we should sing "My Family Lived and Died in America."
I
Good
like
old
her
USA.
dinosaur shirt.
Yes, it's very cute.
I
Born America.
what was I
Okay,
gonna say?
that's enough. Okay, she said hi.
That's okay. She's gonna hang out, I guess.
Yeah, that's fine. I just don't want her to keep repeating herself.
What was I gonna say? Yeah, but like that's two halftime shows in a row where like people are like, this is black culture, but it's also like American culture. Like you can't
Yeah.
separate the two.
I think
Um,
that the thing is that black history, like in our, like, I think
I'm gonna
part
die.
of like my issue with like the anti diversity thing is like folks don't like to be uncomfortable.
yeah,
And what has mostly happened, I also like have a list of like books that I've been reading about the revolution or whatever. So there's like this through line on there. But it's like what has been accepted is that white America is like what we mean when we say America.
right,
And then everybody else should assimilate.
right,
And so what that does is create this like, unspoken caste system of like who gets to be, in acceptable. And instead of doing that, we're like, no, I'm going to show up to work. I'm going to speak Ebonics or fucking AAVE, and you're going to understand what the fuck I said. And then we're going to go on, whatever. Just like you can come in here and be like, Billy Bob had, whatever idiom, American idioms
yeah,
that you've accepted. I can be like, you're so stupid, and then move on with my life. And then I can be like, no, stupid means funny, and you can get the fuck over it. Like
right, right.
that's where we are, and
And I
that
think that
makes you
that's what.
uncomfortable.
Mhm.
And so you would like to put me back into the box. But
Yes,
like as soon as, and that's why I was like, when the Latinx community accepts that this is Mexican American. Like we are American. A Mexican history is American history because y'all fucking took over Texas, fucking you know what I mean? Like
like what do
that
you fucking think the Alamo is about? Like,
yeah, because y'all didn't want to pay taxes. Like you
right,
took over Texas, so guess what? Like this is American history and I don't give a fuck if you like it. Like this is what it is. And I think that that's like where we have to like really put it down. And it's like, okay, you don't want any more diverse groups. I'm gonna come in this group and we're gonna talk about, like how y'all fucked this up and this, this
right.
is blah blah blah. And we can talk about it in whatever way you want. We can talk about power, we can talk about, all of these different things. But ultimately, like America is not perfect. And this is our history.
And they've been here. It's not
Yeah.
like they started coming here. Like they've been here. Like I saw, but I do think in terms of like Latin American people in in the USA, like I feel like they're like 20 or 30 years behind black people because and they're still like hard in that this group that
Hmm.
these white people think we all look alike, but I can tell the difference between the Cubans, the Dominicans, you know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
they think people give a shit. Like you
Yeah.
give a shit. They just think that you're black. It's like when first or second generation people come from Africa to here and they're like, I'm not American. And they hold the same stereotypes about black Americans that white people hold.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, I want to be different. They pretty soon figure out that they don't give a shit. Like
Yeah.
you're in this group too. So we better work together. I feel like they don't do that, which is why like so many Cubans voted because they're like, no, I came here through a program, and I'm like,
Yeah.
bitch, so did everybody at the southern border.
Right.
Like they
Yeah.
don't care, and so like now you're getting deported, and you're like, whoa, 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 not me, those other ones. And I saw like some creator like go on and like there were those protests, about immigration and ICE and all this stuff. And she's like, I see so many protests around the country, and they're all waving the Mexican flag, like you can't do that. Like that's going to get us in trouble. Like we need to be waving the American flag to show them that we're Americans. And I'm like, no, baby, like that's what you do.
Yeah.
I am here, and like this is my heritage, but I'm fucking here and I'm American.
Yeah.
Like, quit fucking playing with me.
Well, I mean, yeah, and I don't know. I mean, that's what I loved about the Defectors book is just like really talking about how much of like folks are trying to like prove that they've assimilated
Hmm.
and like what links they go to do that. It's
So
really
maybe like
interesting.
the one thing that comes out of this is that they realize that there's no amount of assimilation that's enough for people.
I don't think they will though. That's the thing is like they didn't learn it the first go around. They didn't. That's what I was like when people were like, "He's gonna deport criminals." I'm like, guys, no.
Did you see? Oh, you don't have TikTok. Okay, so there's
Yeah.
this farmer, this white guy, and he owns a small family farm, not a big
Hmm.
corporate farm. So part of the Inflation Reduction Act is like when Joe Biden said, "I helped the red states more than the blue states because they needed it." He One of the things that he did through the Inflation Reduction Act was say, "Hey, if you put this money in up front, we'll come back and reimburse you, but like you have to put skin in the game so we know you're going to do it." So this guy went out and he got like an $80,000 grant from Joe Biden's administration and part of the what is it, Inflation Reduction Act. So he went and part of this is so it creates jobs. So he went and like contracted all these people and got like this irrigation installed as part of a conservation effort.
Hmm.
And so he had to pay for all this stuff, and so it's coming to where like people are coming to install it, but it just so happened that an administration change happened. So Trump came along and was like, no, you're fraud, waste, and abuse. And he's like, I'm not fraud, waste, and abuse. And there was this other farmer that came and said, this is what we were fucking trying to tell you. All of their billionaires, the reason that they came in and got rid of the CFPB is because the CFPB gave $20.9 billion back to consumers, but it took it from those people, from the billionaires. And so they consider you fraud, waste, and abuse. You have wasted the money that should be in their pockets as far as they're concerned.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, I don't understand. You just can't trust any politicians. And people are like, we're not going to help you until you say it out loud that Trump fucked you over and Joe Biden helped you.
Hmm.
And he's like, no, I invested the money. And because they were supposed to give me the money, they were supposed to reimburse me. I'm like, right. So that's help. I didn't need it. They go, well, you thought that it would better your business or you wouldn't have done it. So maybe you didn't strictly need it, but it was helpful. And he's like, he won't fucking say
Of
it. He
course
won't.
not. Because like, like they're not going to just like when people realize that like the veterans like sometimes like giving special preference to veterans is also DEI. Like
Hmm.
people like don't want to have to think about that part. Are
Right.
just like,
Or
yeah,
civil rights means they can't fire you because you have a small child at home and you need to go home a lot.
yeah,
You know what I mean? And
yeah,
returning to office makes it so that you can do that.
right.
Or
Yeah.
not returning to office, work from home.
Yeah, but it's just like, like Starla was saying that she was talking to someone and she was like, "Oh, how's, your son working for FEMA?" And she's like, "Oh, he's a veteran." Like, yeah, that's not going to save him.
Right.
Yeah, but like anyway, it's just I don't know. I think the other thing too is just like there's so much of it that's like, "Oh, well, this person, like my kid is this, my kid's that." Like there's just so much assumption that like your kid is this gold standard and no one else like outperformed them.
Right. And that's just like strictly on not understanding how it works.
Yeah.
Like you don't understand how anything works. So you think you know it, but you don't
Yeah, I mean,
understand
I
how it
feel
works.
like it's like really blatant. Like you can look at a woman who, you know, has been to law school, who went to Howard, you know what I mean, that worked in civil service for 30 plus years, and then you're like, she's not qualified.
Right.
But this other guy who's like run a bunch of businesses into the ground and had some reality TV shows.
Right. Or Pete Hegseth, who wasn't even the best and the brightest of fucking Fox News.
Right.
Or the fucking guy from Road Rules
Right.
is running the fucking DOD. Like, give me a fucking break.
Right. Yeah. So, yeah, it's just it's insane. And I think that that's the stuff where it's like you want me to believe that. You want to be able to believe that the only reason I have a job is because I'm a DEI hire, not that I've spent 20 years in education and I've gotten a doctorate and I've done, like all these things.
Yeah. Like, I had this job, and when I got there, like, I pulled them out of a hole. Like, and it was in such a way because there's like all these requests have tickets associated with them. Like you could visibly see that like my presence there helped. But
Hmm.
people but when I got there, it was, oh, you must be this other person's assistant or blah 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 blah. And I was like, no, bitch, I run this game. And then when they figured out like I had a higher position than him, and they were like, well, who do you know? Oh, you must be Phil's favorite, which is my boss.
Hmm.
Blah 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 blah. Oh, he just thinks you're really smart. I'm like, because I'm in his fucking department, and he was getting in trouble all the time, and now he's not. Like, he
Yeah.
didn't just decide to like me. He
Right.
tried not to hire me. He told me that. Like, I went in for an interview, and it was harsh. Like, it was very very harsh because I had a job, and it was really toxic, and I quit, and I took the money out of my 401k, and I was like, I don't give a shit. I'll go work at McDonald's. So I just quit my job. And so I went on this interview. I had applied for the job in February when I was still working. And then I had like jury duty, and I just didn't come back from jury duty. I just quit
Hmm.
my job. And in March. And then so I went in for an interview in April, and I was like, yeah, I quit. And they were like, okay, but who would do that? You must, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, you can call him and ask him. Like,
Yeah.
call him. I'll give you the number. And they were like, well, why would you do that? Blah, blah, blah. I was like, because I didn't want to work there anymore. I was like, if there's somebody that doesn't want to work for you, do you want them to show up every day or you want them gone? He's like, I want them
No.
gone. I was like, okay, then why wouldn't I give my boss the same courtesy? So, like, he didn't want to hire me. So
Hmm.
in April, I went and interviewed, and then they interviewed everybody else. And he was like, look, everybody else I had to compare to you. Like, there was no other question. And so I came in and like I made that man's life better. And then when I left, they shut the whole fucking program down.
Yeah.
But the entire time it was, somebody must like you. That's the only reason you're in this position.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that they understand like how many of us are like you have to be 10 times better or whatever. So like this is like drilled into you.
Right.
And so you're like spend a lot of time just like getting better at things, getting better at things. Like how much mom like would take work home just because like she wanted to be better at it,
Better.
not because they were like paying her.
Right.
She's like, I'm going to meet this deadline, whatever it is. And so then we're all learning how to 10 key. I
Right.
was
That's
like trying
exactly
to
what I was
tell
about to say. I
someone that
remember coming
like,
home.
yeah, I was like, my brother can type 80 words per minute. And they were like, what? Like, and I was like, and he's a fucking plumber because like that was how things were. Like, even when I
Right.
was doing my math homework with Lillian, I was thinking about how dad used to be like, do this shit over, because it would be
Right.
like a
Your
mess.
handwriting's too messy. Write
Yeah.
it all. They'll never be able to read it. They'll give you an F.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, girl, you gotta pay attention and like write in the lines and do whatever. And then I was like, oh, this is like part of my childhood stuff coming back up. Like, what
I
the fuck
remember
is this?
somebody at that same job was like, "Oh, is that how you got so smart? Because your parents were like, they didn't hug you enough." And I said, "Oh no, my parents hugged me a lot. Like my parents loved me. They loved me so much that it was like, could I love you more? Like
Yeah.
maybe if you did better." Like it's a
Yeah.
different kind of pressure.
Yeah. Yeah. It was like, yeah. I mean, I think that it was just like a standard. It wasn't like, I don't know. So, but anyway, It's gonna be an interesting time, I do hope that it ends soon, but
Yeah,
yeah, I do think. Okay, you have to let me know what TikTok says about the
I
halftime
will.
show.
They're already talking about it.
Yeah, I'm
I'll let you
sure.
know.
And then, what are you reading?
So we had our book club today. That's what I was doing early before I jumped on.
Okay.
So we read this book called Blood Sisters. It's by Vanessa Lilly. She describes herself as a white presenting Cherokee woman from Northeast Oklahoma. So the story takes place in Pitcher in Miami. And if you don't
Mhm,
know about Pitcher, it is now a Superfund site. So in the story, she goes into the history of it, that on the Trail of Tears, people were marched down here. They got their land snatched from them. They got marched down to Oklahoma and they settled in northeastern Oklahoma. And people talk about reservations, but what they did was land allotments. So all these people got land allotments, but then they would have them certified as crazy or unfit, or what's the other word? They would basically put the land in conservatorships and then let white people lease it. So technically Native Americans owned it, but white people would lease it. And then they figured out that there were minerals underground, so they started mining. The white people then got to lease. So Native Americans could only, they were allotted the land, but they only got the surface of it. But even that, they would rent out to white people, and then the minerals mining companies got to come and take, to the point where the water got poisoned, and there were a bunch of sinkholes.
mm,
And then they left behind the remnants. It's called chat. So anytime there's a storm or anything, it kicks up and it's just polluted. So everybody there is sick. So the story takes place while they're declaring it a Superfund site and trying to buy people out. But because white people leased it, the Native American peoples that owned it weren't getting any money and didn't have a place. They didn't have a way to go and move someplace else.
okay.
So,
You said Miami, but you mean
Miami,
Miami
yeah,
and Oklahoma.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So it was pretty good. Definitely recommend it.
It's a friend book club.
Yeah, a bunch of people from Norman. We
Okay.
call it the Sooner Read Book Club because sooner born, sooner bred.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
what are your themes? Like, what are you going to be reading about?
I think just mostly thrillers. So I'm like the admin for the club. So I just pick like random books, but I do try and pick like diverse authors.
Hmm.
Like one of the books that we almost, like the second one when people voted, the second most popular one was this book called Razor Blade Tears by S.A. Crosby, who's a
Hmm.
black author. And there's a black sheriff in the book. I'm going to read that one anyway. If it doesn't get picked this month, I'm going to read it anyway.
Yeah.
So I try and pick really diverse authors to pick from. But when I did the first one, I just did like 30 books to kind of gauge where people are at. Like, do you want to read romance? Do you want blah, blah, blah? And thrillers kind of rose to the top. So, like
So when
other
you
books
have
on
your book
there,
club, like, do you have a set of questions or like how do you just do
I was
your?
going to do like a set of questions, but like it was a thriller. And then the twist at the end, because it also dives really heavy. Like the main theme of the book is missing and murdered Indigenous women.
Hmm.
And so we're on this case of looking for, trying to understand like where these bones came from.
Hmm.
And then the twist at the end was so like, oh my fucking God, that I was like, I don't have any questions. Let's just do reactions. So we
Yeah.
just went through like big chapters by chapters or major events in the book. And I might do that for the next one, depending on what we pick.
Yeah. I think that's probably a good idea. I don't know. I was thinking about like I think again probably talked about this last time, but I was thinking like oh, I should put this list out there. But I had worked with my coach at work to ask her
Mm.
like what books she felt like I should read, and because I was like I realized that she can really tap into like cultural, like she just knows a lot of that. It's kind of admirable. Like you can see like themes and whatever. And so I was like, what book should I read? And she told me to start with Let This Radicalize You, and I finished that this week, and it was really good.
I'll
It
have
was
to check
really
that one
good.
out. The
Yeah.
other two things that I ordered this week, when I said I was ordering books and I accidentally ordered it from an Amazon subsidiary,
Hmm.
there's like the people's history of the United States, and then there's the
Yeah.
Native American people's history of the United States. So I ordered those two books, but they have one for young people and
Hmm.
both of those. So I ordered the one with for young people. So I'm waiting for those to come in, and then I'm going to see if how, like, if the young people in our family can get into it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, cool. It's a pleasure watching Kendrick Lamar with you.
That was so. My heart was being so funny. I was fast. I'm still like, ugh, okay.
Yeah, he's an interesting bird. I just was like, you never know like what they're gonna do, and yeah, I mean, because I was like with Rihanna, I was all nervous, and then it was like nothing. I
Right.
mean, not like that. It was still a good show. It just was like, oh, okay. And then, of course, with Usher, it was like you knew it was gonna be fucking skates somewhere,
Yeah.
like.
Yeah.
And then and it was really good. But then, yeah, I was like, I just don't know what Kendra's gonna do, especially with DT in the building.
I think he sent a message, but I don't think DT's gonna get it.
Oh no,
Yeah.
someone's gonna have to break that shit down for him.
I was actually thinking like when they were at the lamp pole, I was like, oh, Fox News is gonna go crazy. Like the guy
Why?
with the gold tooth, and like he had like something. It was like something innocent, but it was written in graffiti font, and it was
Oh
like
yeah.
there wasn't a single white person on the field. I don't think. Like
Yeah, I
they're
mean,
gonna
there was
lose
some
them all.
Asian people on stage though, like which I was like, okay, yes, I love this diversity.
Yeah.
Yeah, this I can get down with. Yeah,
Yeah.
but anyway, okay, cool. Well,
All right. Well,
until
I love
next
you.
time.
I love you.
Okay, love you too.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the It's Fine, Sweetie podcast.